Imagine getting viral on TikTok for dances with your sister and later finding yourself lost in a cult. Well, that's exactly what happened to creator Miranda Derrick, and her family are now coming out in a shocking new documentary on Netflix. The three-part docuseries titled Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult hit the streaming platform last week and has started a massive conversation with its allegations of a cult-like atmosphere inside 7M Films, a management company that works with TikTok dancers. This is a LA-based company that was founded in 2021 by a man named Robert Shin. Robert is also the leader of Shekinah Church, and in the series, Netflix reveals how several former members and families of current members have accused 7M and Shekinah Church of using manipulative and core tactics to control influencers. These tactics allegedly include isolating members from their families, seizing their bank accounts, and requiring them to pay large sums of money to the church and Robert himself. In the series, they introduced the dance duo Miranda and Melanie, who are known as the Wilking Sisters on TikTok, and grew to have a massive following of millions. The two had moved to Los Angeles together to pursue a career in the dance world and had found success being a pair on social media, but everything changed after they received a message from a man named James Derrick, who goes by Bash online. The Wilking family and Miranda were never the same after this. Now, this all started around the time of the pandemic, and to this day, the story is still currently unfolding, and Netflix sat down with Miranda's family as they spoke about what exactly happened to her. Melanie talks about how she and Miranda ended up collabing with James after he messaged them, and after that, they were in a group chat together. Melanie ended up getting pulled from the group chat, and Miranda and James were then talking to each other, and they ended up dating Melanie's parents. Dean and Kelly said James had stayed with them for a few weeks during the pandemic and would often visit, and the family grew really close to him. And as James was getting familiar with Miranda's family, she returned that energy by getting close with the people in his life. James had a videographer named Isaiah, who is the son of Robert Shin, the founder of 7M, the management company, and also the leader of Shekinah Church. James and Isaiah would have content days to shoot dance videos with friends, and during these days, James had started to tell his friends that they need to come and listen to Isaiah's dad at church. And it wasn't the only time that Robert would see some of James's friends, as outside of church, he was introduced to them when they were all at Isaiah's house, and James was one day talking about struggling to keep up and get brand deals. Robert overheard this conversation and definitely thought that he could make a profit off of these people. He decided then and there that he was going to start his own management company, which was 7M. Melanie says that when she would get on the phone with her sister after she started dating James, that she would say her and James were hanging out at Isaiah's house, and one of the things that they would do was read the Bible together, which she found a little odd because their family wasn't particularly religious growing up, and the family found it even more interesting that James was now signed to a management company that was connected to a church. In fall of 2020, Melanie went to meet Miranda for a dinner party at James' house. Then things took a turn at this dinner, and Melanie says people were talking in tongue, and at the end of it, she was told that she was saved from going to hell. After they did this little ritual, Miranda ended up joining the church along with James as their relationship progressed, and the two of them spent a lot of time at Robert's house together. Her parents questioned it, but they were reassured that everything was fine. It was all normal, but it wasn't. Robert was promising these dancers that he was going to make them rich, told people that he could get them houses, cars, and so much more. He gave them access to people who would film and edit their dance movies for them, as well as exclusive invitation-only church services. Melanie had decided that this wasn't for her, but Miranda was still very much a part of this dance church content world, and 7M was taking a 20% management fee, and then they were encouraged to give a 10% tithe to the church, 10% man of God, and then 10% offering, and by the end of it, it was revealed that any money that they were given during their time at 7M was essentially all paid back to the church in some ways, leaving them with no profit. One of the former members was given $100,000, and after going through all the bank records, it was revealed that he had paid $98,000 to the church. Miranda's family says by 2021 she had been disconnected with them, so much as that she ended up missing her own grandfather's funeral. 30 minutes before she was supposed to go to the airport for the flight, she called her parents and said that she had COVID, and her family just felt like it was so strange that she wouldn't even come. Like a few days after she started ghosting her family and they wanted answers from her, they got the police involved to see if she was at least all right, and police went to talk to her. They said that she was with a friend, and this friend was described to be Robert Shin's daughter, Chloe, so she had gotten herself very involved in this church. Her parents then flew out to try and talk to her, and she ended up telling them that she couldn't couldn't come to the funeral because she needed permission from someone closer to God, and in that moment they said that they realized that they lost their daughter and she was just not the same person anymore. Former members of 7N said that they were taught by the church that they needed to die to their family in order to save them, meaning this was the way to ensure your family were to go to heaven. So by dying to your family, aka cutting them off, you're closer to God, and your journey will also bring them to heaven with you. One day Miranda ended up getting engaged to James and her family found out through social media. It also seemed like they had gotten married in Vegas. She had also changed her last name to Viz, which is Derek. Miranda's parents decided to start calling out to other people's parents from 7N and see if anyone had a similar experience with their child cutting them off. There were others, but there wasn't much that they could do because these are all adults in this church content, like Cole. And though their families believe that they are being brainwashed into participating in this group and cutting off their families and that they're being taken advantage of, there is nothing legally that could have been done. Melanie said Miranda had sent some emails, but it just never sounded like her, and the warning was nothing that she would have ever said, but they kind of held out hope that maybe one day she would snap out of it, and they're still kind of hoping that. But in 2021, Melanie decided to go confront Miranda by going to her live performance of the Nutcracker, and she thought that maybe they would have this nice reuniting moment, but she says that they saw each other, they were both in shock, and Melanie went to go hug her, and Miranda was just stiff cold, no emotion. Her parents also tried to confront her about things, but they said she was an unrecognizable person now. Since Miranda and Melanie were a dance duo on social media, people were wondering why she was posting old videos of them and wondering where Miranda was, so she tried her best to keep things going and address them without revealing what was actually going on.
Hey everyone! So many of you have noticed that Miranda and I have not been in videos together lately, and I've been getting a lot of messages asking where she's at, what's going on, all of that. So I'm here to let you know that Miranda has chosen to pursue some other opportunities at this time and just take a little break from the Wilking Sisters brand. I will still be here making videos. My goal is to always put a smile on your face, and sometimes you just need a little change. And Miranda's still my best friend. I love her so much. I will always support her, and I just hope that I can have all of your support on this new journey. Love you guys. Mwah. Bye.